horses to Hancock Stadium? Or will the Celtics keep the Express moving forward and give themselves a chance to pick up a 5th state championship banner? The answers come next as TCN Sports presents the IHSA Class 4A state semifinals, matching the 10-2 Minooka Indians and the undefeated Celtics from Providence Catholic. And hi again, everybody. Along with Mac McLaughlin, we welcome you to the 4A state semifinals here from Providence Catholic High School.
The mystique of the Minooka Indians is there. Their whole community is here. The crowd is big. We'll talk to Coach Sharp later. He's all excited. The whole town is ready for this game.
As far as Providence Catholic is concerned, this is old hat for their fans. They've won 2 consecutive state championships, and in fact, they only sold 300 tickets prior to this game, though we can expect their stands to be full all night long. Well, we mentioned Coach Dan Sharp. He's a head coach over at Minooka High School, and our sideline reporter is Lee Turnbow. He knows Dan very well, and he'll fill us in a little bit on Dan Sharp's background. Lee?
Talked this week about Northwestern coach Gary Burnett and about how he's built that program. And the same could be said for Minooka coach Dan Sharp. He has been an assistant at Joliet Catholic under Gordy Gillespie. He was offense coordinator at College of St. Francis, and now he's a Minooka head coach, where in 4 years he's built this program into a state-ranked power. Tonight it's his biggest game, the state semifinals, and he wants a chance next week to eat his turkey dinner down in Bloomington to play for a state championship. Dave?
All right, thank you very much, Lee. And I'll tell you what, why don't we hear from those 2 head coaches right now, Dan Sharp and Matt Sempner. Dan, the first time he's been here, Matt Sempner, wow, he's been here numerous times. These were their thoughts just moments ago.
Well, we're excited, anxious, nervous. I don't know. There's so many emotions going through your body right now, Dave. It's great for our community and our school and the kids and our whole administration and faculty. It's a great opportunity. But on the other hand, we're looking forward to this game, and if we can beat these guys, we're going down to the championship game. So there's a lot at stake, and our kids are ready to play.
Probably the same thing going with Danny. You know, you're all excited, you're all nervous. You want to make sure that your first possession is fine, your first defensive set is fine. You're trying to get the kids to play hard, trying to get them, make sure they're motivated and all those kinds of things, and make sure you got everything covered. That's about it.
All right, let's get down to the nuts and bolts, shall we? These 2 teams come in with just 2 losses between them. The Minooka Indians at 10-2, their offense rolls up 290 yards on the ground per game. And the reason why, out of the double wing offense, halfback Ryan Kerner and quarterback DJ Spring.
Nice junior duo, great runners, great throwers. Kerner, 6 foot, 185 pounds, 1,377 yards rushing, 400 yards pass receiving. He's dangerous coming out of that backfield. DJ Spray, what a name. This young man has come up, 6 foot, 180 pounds, junior, 715 yards passing. He's a threat.
Now, this Minooka defense has really come on strong as of late, and their entire team, they are young. But their middle linebacker and their defensive end, Scott Nelson and Gabe Sheets Poling, they're experienced and they're good.
Well, talk about Scott Nelson, 6 foot, 205, 165 tackles, 4 interceptions. This guy can motor. He's one of the outstanding linebackers in our area. The other guy, Gabe Sheets, big guy, 6'3", 250, goes both ways. Remember this, not only is he big, he's smart. 30 ACT. He's very, very tough.
Well, that means that Gabe Sheets Poling can count the numbers, and big numbers they've been for Providence Catholic this year offensively. They have scored point upon point upon point, maybe the most prolific offensive team in the state.
Well, just give them the ball with Cruz and Medina. They can do anything. Pop and Ulster, great offensive line. They can, like you say, they can score at any point on the field.
The neglected people here have been the Providence Catholic defense.
I don't know why. Ravinovich is big enough and bad enough to stand his own. This guy's a great linebacker. We talked about him. He's also got some help. Great secondary. Their defense is one whale of a defense.
All right, we're not kidding anybody. Only the most loyal of Minooka fans expect a Minooka Indian victory here tonight. Providence Catholic, the overwhelming favorite. Mac, I'm wondering, what would it take for Minooka to pull the big-time upset?
Parting of the sea, hurricane. No. I think Danny Sharp is one of the sharpest coaches in the area. If there's one team that's ready, it'll be the Minooka Indians. Perfect game, no mistakes. Whoever puts that ball on the ground, they have to pick it up and run like the devil.
All right, let's do it. What do you say? The winner here heads down to Hancock Stadium. They will play 1 week from tonight on the artificial carpet for the state championship. You've got the semifinal coverage coming your way next here on TCN Sports.
Pizza by Marciolone. Prepared with the finest tomatoes, peppers, spices. Without a pizza by the pound, you get so much more of our delicious toppings. Try the taste that made Marcellone famous.
Marcellone. Call your local Pizza by Marcellone location today. In order to compete at your best, your body has to be in top physical condition. If injury or pain is keeping you from doing your best, call today for an appointment. We specialize in the treatment of sports injuries and fractures. We use arthroscopic and laser surgery. We also treat arthritis, back pain, and perform joint replacements. We have offices located near you, so call 815-741-8155 and get yourself back in the best of health.
This TCM Sports High School Football Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Pizzas by Marcellone and by the Joliet Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Center.
12 games into a season, and it all comes down to this. For one of these two teams, they will have the opportunity to play for the state championship next week. And welcome back, TCN Sports. Happy you could join us here from Providence Catholic High School. It's the state semifinals in Class 4A, and it matches the Providence Catholic Celtics and the Minooka Indians. And along with Lee Turnbow and Mac McLaughlin, I'm Dave Bernhardt, and we take a look across the way, that huge M Minooka flag. And as Mac, you said, these fans are having the time of their life here tonight.
Well, they've never been here before. They're going to enjoy themselves. They're ringing the field. They brought everybody in Minooka down for this game.
What do you say we take a quick trip down on the field and talk to our sideline reporter, Lee Turnbow. Lee?
Thanks, Dave. One thing coming down here in the field, this field is terrible, and I don't know if we can take a look at it, but if you come out here with me, as you see it from the hash over here to the sideline, it's very good, but between the hashes, there's sand in between the hashes. It's all mud. As a matter of fact, Coach Matt Seffner is out here at 7:30 this morning shoveling off the ice and the snow along with the baseball team, getting this field ready, but it's very muddy between the hash marks, and so that's going to play a big factor in tonight's ball game.
Okay, thank you very much, Lee. And Mac, that will give us an opportunity, and maybe it might give us an opportunity to adjust our top jocks here tonight. We have to do a little bit of catching up here. Top jock number 1, the pick goes to the guy that's in first place, Mr. Turnbow. And Lee tonight debated a long time about who his top jock was going to be, and he says, you know what? He'll take Robert Cruz. You get the backup plan, though.
Well, I got Louis Medina, great running back.
All right, now here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a big Providence defensive effort.
Yeah.
And who's going to lead that charge? Matt Uremovich. Once again, I'm playing a strategy here. Cruz and Medina going to cancel themselves out. It'll open it up for Uremovich.
Well, if Lee doesn't get that lucky break back in Lincoln Way, you'll never be there.
All right, we're going to keep an eye on number 52 all night long. The Celtics to receive the opening kickoff.
Boy, Minooka has great size.
Their kicker is Nate Nelson, and it is through that rough part of the field. He will drive it deep, and they'll go right at Medina from the 10. Medina to the 15-20, he's up to the 30-yard line, and the Celtics will start it from about the 32. The Providence Catholic offense is just flat out awesome. They have been averaging 451 yards per game here in the postseason, averaging 42 points per game. We've talked about Medina Cruz, the fullback, is Steve Maudry, and up front it's an offensive line. Now get a load of this. Only Tim T in the center is a senior. Louis Medina on the season, 2,355 yards and 25 touchdowns. And he gets it on play number 1, and he's still on his feet.
He may go all the way on the first play. Holy cow.
Only one man can catch him, that's Ryan Cluck. Medina to the 3-yard line.
And no flag. And listen to the crowd, they're just going nuts already. If there are only 300 of them, boy, they're really making a heck of a lot of noise.
A 65-yard run for Louis Medina opens up this state semifinal.
A 66-yard run.
Down to the 2-yard line. The one thing Minooka did not want to see has occurred. First and goal. Robert Cruz is the quarterback. The give, Medina. Through an opening. Touchdown! Medina's 26th touchdown of the year. 2 plays in, 43 seconds into the game.
And that play is the type of back-breaking play that Providence has used all year to get into the early ball game scoring tactics. They started off giving a simple off-tackle play to Medina. He went through the center of the field where all the mud is. 66 yards later, he's down on the 2-yard line. Next play, touchdown, and that just shocked Minooka Indians.
Billy Shull, the extra point, makes it a 7-0 game. Louis Medina, one of the most prolific runners in the state of Illinois, 66 yards on his first carry. Moves some people out of the way, and Louis Medina will set himself up down to the 2-yard line. He punches it in, and the Celtics are making it happen here early. 7-0, 43 seconds into the game.
Well, the good thing about it, it happened early.
Serving the Will County area since 1925, Randall's has always strived for excellence in rebuilding and refinishing your injured vehicles. And it shows. From the first call for Randall's towing service, all the way through refabricating crumpled metal to the professional touch of an instrumented spray gun. And finally, that rub and buff by a detail magician. There's none better. And remember, if it's just a tow for repair or a tow anywhere, Randall's fleet of trucks is always available. So write this number down now.
7-0 Providence, and Mac, as you were saying, the one good thing about it for Minooka is they get a chance to come right back.
Well, this muddy field is going to be a big difference when you have a fleet-footed back like Medina and Kerner back there. Things are going to happen.
Shulled high. Ball muffed at about the 15-yard line. Picked up by Adam Zook. And Minooka to start from their 20. Minooka Indians offensively are led by Ryan Kerner. We had talked about him in the pregame. Kerner became the starter about 4 games into the season, was actually a junior varsity player early on in the season. Kerner with 1,377 yards and 14 touchdowns. It will be a double wing offense by the Indians. And the quarterback, DJ Spray, Adam Boersma, Dan Gallegos in the backfield. Boersma, the only senior in that bunch. Up front, it's a good-sized offensive line. Gabe Sheets pulling Pat Hollis, Ryan Lee, Kevin Manthe, and John Nerzik. They average about 230 pounds. Kerner, carry number 1. Down he goes. On the stop, Eric Steinbach, number 80.
Well, they've got to run that double wing offense against that type of defense, but first they've got to get rid of those linebackers.
The linebackers, wow, what a bunch here. We mentioned Matt Urimovich. He's flanked by Matt Ryder and Steve Marino. Secondary, none too shabby as well. Scott Janik has 8 interceptions. Max Steinhauser is the other corner. Khalid Tillman and Eric Blackney are physical safeties. Up front, Tony Pasolano, Brian Wagner, Pat Dillon, and the man on the last tackle, right there, Eric Steinbach. 2nd and 10, Kerner again.
Oh,
hit by Marino. There's Matt Ryder, a loss of 3.
Well, you're looking for an offensive line. There was nobody there but green jerseys. If they knew where the play was going, and they just came across that line and beat the Minooka Indians to the punch.
They will give Kerner credit to about the 19-yard line, and that's the situation that this offense cannot afford to be in, and that's 3rd and long. DJ Spray on the season has thrown when he's had to. He's only attempted 89 passes, however, for 715 yards.
Oh, another mistake.
A little jump there coming from Greg Hatzel on the left side.
And right now we see the experience of the Providence Catholic Celtics in their defense, and we see the jitters of the offense and the players from Minooka. A shocking first play, and then 2 plays you just shut them down, and then you have an offside. So you see they've got to just settle down and get into the rhythm of Coach Sharp's offense.
Now they are pushed back to the 14-yard line. On 3rd and long. Screen right side, Spray a little bit too heavy with it. Celtics had that one well defended as well. Out on the coverage, number 55, Pat Dillon. That's a defensive tackle getting out there on a screen.
Well, his job must have been the back, because he went wherever that back went. Number 55 was right in his chest, and this is a big punt. Remember the Celtics specialty teams.
Louis Medina is back at about midfield. Nate Nelson will give Medina a chance to return it if he wants to pick it up. Medina will get down to the 43. Providence, great field position to start drive number 2, leading 7-0 with 9:30 to play here in the first quarter.
Well, here's where you're going to see the difference in the ball game. If Providence comes down and scores quickly again, this is going to be a rout. They're going to just pin their ears back and go. What Minooka has to do is get some offensive stop right here and hopefully only get them 1 first down before they get them out of there.
Dave Pop is flanked to the top of your screen. Eddie Olsta to the bottom. Steve Maudry, the fullback, will slide in motion.
That was motion that time.
Movement by the right tackle. Colin Johnson, 6'2", 235-pound junior with a little flinch.
Well, everything helps those Minooka. Coach Sharp needs anything and everything he can to slow down this war machine of the Celtics.
Get a look at offensive coordinator Dave Ernst. He has been so valuable to this program, but this year he stepped in as the offensive coordinator, and well, the numbers speak for themselves. He's got his quarterback, Robert Cruz. Robert, with 35 touchdown passes, that is just 3 shy of the state record. He's been averaging about 4 touchdown passes per game here in the postseason.
Well, they're going to play man on Ulster. They better be sharp. There's another motion on the offensive line.
Cruz is pointing to the referee. He's pointing somebody on the Minooka side did something.
Well, the line judge didn't throw that. The back judge threw that. So normally when he throws it, he sees motion somewhere.
Another
on the offensive side.
Another 5-yard penalty here against Providence. That pushes the ball back to their territory at the 42.
And Matt Seltner's questioning that as there are early disagreements with the stripes already. This muddy field is really going to play a big difference on how they react to different strategies.
Well, just looking at it on TV doesn't give it justice to how soft, and it's so very slick out there as well. This is a first down and 20.
Now that's a stop. That time the Indians just come up there, number 38. Kyle Davis just fought his way through there and brought Medina down for a very short gain.
Kyle Davis, a 6'1", 185-pound senior, wears number 38. And Medina has pretty quick feet in that slow track, however.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing about Medina. You can stop him, but if he squeezes past you, and those linebackers, you only got a safety back there to beat.
Second and long.
He's got him. Oh!
Cruz has it to Tom Reardon, left sideline. Reardon knocked out close to the first down, and that was dangerously close to an interception.
Well, I'll tell you that cornerback took a great chance that time. But that's something you got to play. If he got it, it was a touchdown either way. Watch again. It's just a 2-step drop by Cruz, one of his favorite plays. He throws a little slant, and boy, just out of the reach of number 60, Sam Smith, as he was flying over to that ball.
22-yard pickup for the Celtics will leave them about a yard short of a first down. 3rd and a yard. The ball at the 35 of Minooka. Medina for a yard and more.
They can't sit. The adjustment Minooka is going to have to make. The linebackers cannot stand there. That time, the guard came out in the center, and they just smashed both Scott Nelson and Joe Fisher, and they had no chance of reacting to that dive by Medina. That was a great 3rd and long, or 2nd and long call by the offensive coordinator.
And now a first down from the 30 of Minooka. Cruz, quick drop. A little bit behind, looking for Eddie Olsta, or Dave Pop rather. These receivers for Providence Catholic, Olsta, Pop, and Tom Reardon, are about as explosive a bunch as you can see. Now, they don't make connections right here, but Eddie Olsta has 51 grabs for 743 yards. Dave Pop, 32 catches. He was looking for his 33rd right there for 595. We just saw Tom Reardon break off a 22-yarder moments ago.
And that, you watched it cruise through that ball. His right foot slid in that sand and mud out there, causing him to throw that ball low. Quick screen.
Olsta with it. Shakes one man, he'll get close to the 20. Well, that's the idea. Get Olsta the ball as quickly as you can and let him do the rest.
Well, he's so dangerous on a short out pattern. and they run this with him in motion coming back. It takes a defensive player, has to back off. You see just a two-step drop, kind of a shovel pass. Watch him make a miss. And once you miss, Eddie, he's down the sidelines for plus yardage. And he's a tough man to bring down, even though he's only 5'8", 165, 170 pounds.
Rhett Stenzel had the opportunity, 5'11 junior, free safety, missed Olston. Speaking of this secondary for Minooka, they start 4 juniors.
Well, they'll get their baptism on the fire tonight.
3rd and short. Medina will have the first down just across the 20. And Minooka is doing, actually Providence is doing what Minooka wanted to do, and that was control the ball and grind out some clock.
Well, I think Coach Sharp will take that, and hopefully they can make a mistake and put that ball on the ground. But he has derailed and slowed them down somewhat. He's forced Cruz and the offensive coordinator to throw that ball in those slants. And I think if Minooka plays it right and they come up, they might be able to pick one of those off. They're going to have to and do something big.
First down from the 18, splitting out wide just outside of your view to the left side of your screen. Dave Pop and Eddie Olsta.
There's a swing.
Just not the timing right there, looking for Medina. Coverage on the play to John Nerzik.
Again, we have to emphasize that field is going to be a quagmire. We've only had 4 plays in that particular area, and we see there's no footwork. I think Cruz is trying to tell him, as we see there's another penalty flag being thrown, that anytime he passes is going to be somewhat suspect on his footage out there.
Well, I'll have you know, Mr. McLaughlin, when I went over to get Dan Sharp in the pregame, not only did I splatter my pants with mud, but I just almost took a big tumble out there.
I lost a pair of good loafers coming in here too.
Holding call against Providence. That will push the ball back to the 32-yard line. So it's been kind of a ragged start here for the Celtics in terms of getting into sync. They do lead it 7-0. 3 penalties here on this drive.
There's a blitz. They picked it up.
They will go deep, looking for Olsta. He's there. Knocked away. Coverage on the play by a pair of juniors. Number 27 was Kevin Caruso, and Rhett Stenzel was number 20.
Great play by Stenzel that time. He came in just at the last moment and just high jumped. And again, we're talking about a kid 5'11", 160. As we'll see on this replay in the end zone, as we see Rhett Stenzel go up. If we get that back later on, we'll show you how he made an excellent play on that. We're seeing the ball, the flight of the ball. Now watch the players coming up, and a great hand in there to knock that ball away.
2nd down and 24.
Screen again.
Screen left side. Medina, he's on his own now. Louis Medina to the 25, and you just hold your breath whenever Louis Medina has the ball in his hands.
But I'd like to say this, that Danny Sharp's defense is now trying to bang heads, and they're doing a good job. That time there was a lot of room out there, but his defense smelled it out. They did some tackles, but they were there, converged with their great pursuit angles, and shut him down from making big yardage on that play.
That was a very exciting 7-yard run after the catch, but Providence right now faced with a 3rd and 17. They need to get to about the 8-yard line. To the air they go. Olsta will be short, well short. Decision time here for the Celtics. Given the condition of the field, I would not be surprised to see them go for it. There will be about 4th and 8.
Well, it's awful money, but I think they're bringing out their kickers. Watch Cruz again on the run this time, and you show the versatility of Cruz, and watch how he just steps down that sideline for a nice gain on that play.
They will bring Billy Shull down to attempt the extra point. Now the field, part of the field where they're at right now is not too bad. Snap to Cruz, Shull. Ball is up, and it is good. Billy Shull has nailed his 11th field goal of the season. The Celtics come away with 3, and they lead it 10-0 over Minooka with 6:38 to play in the first quarter. Celtics have so many offensive weapons. They can do it in the air, they can do it on the ground, they can survive penalties, and they have the left leg of Billy Shull to give them the 10-point advantage.
Serving the Will County area since 1925, Randall's has always strived for excellence in rebuilding and refinishing your injured vehicles. And it shows. From the first call for Randall's towing service all the way through refabricating crumpled metal to the professional touch of an instrumented spray gun. And finally, that rub and buff by a detail magician. There's none better. And remember, if it's just a tow for repair or a tow anywhere, Randall's fleet of trucks is always available. So write this number down now.
Along with Lee Turnbow and Mac McLaughlin, happy you could join us. Minooka Indians stung here, down 10-0 early. They will start from their 14-yard line. And they pick their fans out of their seat. An excellent return by number 81, Adam Zook.
Well, it seemed like they deliberately kicking that ball to Zook, and I think he got his offensive line drug him down about 5 or 10 yards. Watch again, he gets up into the crowd, not very swift of feet, but watch again, he goes right there and he just pulls people away and makes 50 yards to give good field position.
To the 37-yard line. See that double wing attack. Kerner gets a block to the outside, and you just cannot run away from this Celtic defense. Max Steinhauser, the corner, came up strong. He was joined by linebacker Steve Marino. Also Matt Uremovich was there as well.
Well, the Celtic defense is not giving them any respect. They're just standing up in the front of them, and they're putting the 8 men on the box, and that double wing just does not put any fear in their heart. What they have to do is get some pass plays going, forget about the play action, and see if DJ can get back there and spray the ball around.
Only a yard for Kerner on first down. He goes in motion.
Not again. They got, whoa, nice hole.
Opening up the middle for Dan Gallegos. Dan Gallegos still on his feet.
He's going to go.
Max Steinhauser will bring him down at the 6.
No flag. Now that will get the blood running in the Indians on that play. I thought they had it stopped. A great block. Watch the linebacker on this replay. We'll go back to the crowd real quick and see the enthusiasm there. But if you see up the middle, there's a tremendous block right on the linebacker coming right there. Number 58 did a tremendous block to open that hole up.
Dan Gallegos, a 57-yard run, gives the Indians a first and goal from the 5. You can hear the pads popping. Gallegos had that last carry at 57-yarder moments ago. He has really come on strong here in the last few games. He started out the season somewhat slow, but Gallegos has had games of 104, 119, and 83 yards rushing here in the playoffs.
Well, this is the time for them to score, Dave. They've got to come down and do some power football because Uremovich right now is really huffing and puffing back there.
From the 4-yard line, Kerner cannot get outside. Pasolano will wrap him up for the loss.
They just do not have the scheme for that type of attack against the defense. This is a rush defense that fills the lanes, and they just pursue. And watch the linebacker. They fill the lanes up, and the backside flow comes up and gets you, and there are always 3 or 4 green jerseys around. Again, he's got to play action, dump that ball real quick, right over the middle, behind Uremovich.
Ball is back near the 9-yard line. 3rd down and goal. Spray will keep it. Cannot turn the corner against the Celtic defense. Number 1, Eric Lackney was there. Max Steinhauser is number 4.
Well, they've been there, they've done it, they've seen it. So, you know, those plays, there have to be some broken tackles, and that part of the field is probably the safest and more solid part of the field in the whole 100 yards. Here we go for a field goal.
Nate Nelson will come out to attempt a field goal. Looking to cut into a 10-point lead. Ball gets down, and it is wide to the left side. So Providence survives that 57-yard run by Dan Gallegos. Nelson's field goal is no good. The score will stay at 10-0.
Just again, this is we'll see on the replay, the foot as he connects, the ball just slides off. He doesn't get all of it, all the ball. Goes off to our right.
Serving the Will County area since 1925, Randall's has always strived for excellence in rebuilding and refinishing your injured vehicles. And it shows. From the first call for Randall's towing service, all the way through refabricating crumpled metal to the professional touch of an instrumented spray gun. And finally, that rub and buff by a detail magician. There's none better. And remember, if it's just a tow for repair or a tow anywhere, Randall's fleet of trucks is always available. So write this number down now.
Louis Medina will carry for 10 yards. He gets the ball out to the 30-yard line. About 6 inches shy of a first down as the line of scrimmage was originally the 20 following the missed field goal. So Minooka unable to dent the scoreboard. Providence holds on first and goal from the 5.
They need a turnover.
Ball floats out this way to Ulster. He has the first down. He has it across the 40-yard line.
He had a lot of green pasture to run if that tackle wasn't made. Again, another quick out, and they have this in such a rhythm. And watch again as Cruz just steps back, 1, 2, throws a little turnout, and watch the miss. Nice tackle to knock him out of bounds. Otherwise, he's down the yards for 10, 15 more yards.
12-yard completion. Cruz to Ulster. First down at the 42. First quarter, 10-0 Celtic lead. Plenty of time for Cruz. First down over the middle. Pressure was not there. Dan Sharp wanted to put pressure on Cruz. He could not, and hence the 11-yard completion to Tom Reardon.
You gotta love this attack. They can run the ball to Medina, but right now he's just saying we're gonna put it down the field and throw the ball and open this thing wide open. Great throw right in the crowd. Wide open, nice catch in the chest. But this is part of the strategy. You think Medina, and then all of a sudden he throws the ball to Cruz. He throws the ball all over.
Ball in Minooka territory at the Indians' 47. Medina on first down. A swarm of Indians will bury him.
Minooka's done a good job in some phases of the game, but right now it's just the dominance that, and we've said this over and over again, Providence can hurt you so many ways. And I was reflecting before, Cruz has thrown the ball to Ulster, to Pop, throwing the ball to Medina. So he's spreading the ball all around to any receiver he has out there.
5-yard pickup on first down from Medina. He and Maudry are split behind Cruz. Cruz has room for a first down if he can get there, and he is smothered out of bounds. Big hit labeled on Robert Cruz, and a little guy gets back up.
And he just bounces right back. He's got to run 100 yards to get the next play. Watch here, he gets out of the pocket, and Minooka in their pursuit angles, and he gets a good lick coming and just pounds him down. And then he's going to put some wolf calls. I would not, I've seen this before, I would not get angry if I was the other team. I'd play it cool, because you don't want to get the Celtics angry.
Providence's last scoring drive that culminated in the field goal covered 59 yards in 11 plays, and they are just steadily marching down the field. Here again, this being their third possession of the first quarter. First down at the 38 of Minooka. First quarter has 2:24 left in it. Medina get another about 3, 4, 5-yard carry on first down. Louis Medina checks in to this game with 2,355 yards and 26 touchdowns. He already has 94 yards rushing here tonight in 8 carries.
Well, he's going to even get more dangerous as he gets wet. His uniform is going to be slippery, and if you arm tackle reaching for him, that's when he makes the big plays. He just slides out of there and just goes all the way down the field, beat.
Throwing on second down again. Also, yet another reception. Shakes past one man, shakes two. He gets down at the 5-yard line.
Well, we talked about the 4 juniors in the backfield. Well, they're getting their baptism on the fire with these receivers. And little Ulster, you cannot miss him. Once he gets the ball, he's a dangerous runner. As good as Medina with that ball in his hand when he's a receiver, and has him watch him. He just covers the ground. Good tackle to bring him out of bounds, though.
28-yard completion. About a 3-yard completion and a 28-yard run. First and goal from the 5. Corner of the end zone and just a little bit out of the reach and just not quite enough room. Tom Reardon.
Well, they get you off balance. You have no way of knowing it. This is just a little fade pattern. It looked like it might have been some pass interference on this one. Just prior to, we see the arm reach up. Nope, third clean play, ball out of bounds that time. But that's the problem of trying to defense. So many weapons. You can only do so much. But I tell you one thing, they better put some pressure on Mr. Cruz in that backfield when he's throwing the ball. Either just get up in his face.
Olston Pop will head out to the left. Medina cuts, slices.
Ball, touchdown.
Fumbles it. Nope, they'll say he's down at the 1. The ball was down at the 1. It will be third and goal from there.
Well, I think he's talking about not getting a handoff too much that time. He's kind of, no, he got a good handoff. Somebody just ripped the ball out and went down on it. Just slipped out of his grasp.
Leading 10-0. Third and goal from inside the 1. Now Cruz wants to change the play.
Well, there's nobody on the outside of the right tackle.
Flag down in the end zone. They were looking for Reardon. Pop was also crossing back at about 5 yards deep.
Well, when he came up, he saw nobody was over the top of the head of the tight end, so he just called a change of play, and he's going to go pushing against the Celtics. Oh, he's going against Minooka.
He changed it.
All right.
That will be half the distance to the goal line, which will be about 4 inches. And it's a first down.
First down for the Celtics.
What a crowd here. We'll get a chance later on to pan this crowd, but this is the biggest crowd we've seen here.
Medina is in. His second touchdown of the first quarter. His 27th of the season. Providence 16-0 with 44 seconds left in the first quarter. It is a methodical offense. It is impossible to defend all their weapons.
Well, you get down that type, they look like the Green Bay Packers of the 60s because they just grind it out in front of you, just knock you off the ball.
Billy Schultz extra point makes it a 17-0 Celtic lead. They have touched the ball 3 times. They have scored 3 times. And they have put the Minooka Indians in a hole they did not want to be.
This time they'll settle the score. Bo versus Galata 2. This month on Continental Pay-Per-View.
Our sideline reporter is Lee Turnbow. Let's head there now.
It's very interesting what Providence offense coordinator Dave Ernst has done. He has scrapped the inside running game because, number 1, Minooka defense, number 2, the field conditions, and gone to the short passing game. Now, Providence likes to throw the ball deep, but so far here in the first quarter, they've thrown it short. Dave?
Okay, thank you, Lee. And the kickoff is kicked short. Look at that final go. Wow.
Well, they're getting some excitement out of this.
This is an automatic right here. Louis Medina, you're within the 5-yard line. Give it to your senior, number 22. Yeah, there he is. Ah, he squirted through there.
He's just like a little mole that comes close to that goal line. He's going to find a way of getting in.
Well, they're not going to start from their own 36. Last time they touched the ball, they started at their 37, but could not capitalize on a 57-yard run by Dan Gallegos. Straight to the air for the first time tonight. Wide open is Ryan Kerner. The ball hung up in the air, and the coverage came. Kerner slipped and went down. He was wide open, Mac. I don't think we've seen a receiver that wide open.
He was coming, and Khalid Tillman came over late to safety, and he was like he twisted his ankle on that. Watch again, he's wide open. He just goes down, and watch Tillman. He gets his leg caught underneath, and he's limping. I think I have to call a timeout to get him off the field. Oh, he's limping awful tough there. And again, the St. Joe medical crew is on the sideline.
Khalid Tillman, 5'10", 165-pound senior free safety. Well, if Kerner doesn't slip and go down, that ball doesn't quite hang up as long as it did. He's got 6 points.
Yep,
no doubt about it. Well, there you go. You talk about they've not respected the pass. Now maybe they will have to. The Celtics will. Kerner, that's 2 plays for Kerner, and he's gone down on his own volition twice.
And there's another injury in the middle there. One of the guys is bending over from the Celtics. He may have to come out of there. Number 55 looked like he got banged up pretty good on that one.
Pat Dillon trying to shake it off a little bit. Loss back to the 34. And that will close out our first quarter. A first quarter that finds the Providence Catholic fans about as happy as they could be. 3 possessions, 3 scores, 17-0 Celts after 1. The 4A playoffs on a Friday night. It is the only game in town. I mean, it's the only game in the state. Everybody else playing Saturday. One game coming Saturday night, and you will catch that ball game live right here on Channel 3. Lincoln Way, 12-0 in 6A, hosting the 12-0 Palatine Pirates. More about that in a little bit. But right now, worried about 4A action. And Minooka worried about getting a drive sustained. They have not been able to here tonight. They will be faced with a 4th down.
Well, that time, big number 80 for Providence, Eric Steinbach, the 6'6", 220-pound defensive end. He just threw the tackle out of the way and beat the ball carrier to the line of scrimmage.
Nelson to punt for the 2nd time tonight. And it appears Minooka will need to take a timeout. They may be a man short.
Yep, they only got 10 men on the field.
That gives us a chance to tell you about the 4A brackets here in the state of Illinois, a class that everybody expected Providence to run through, and indeed the Celtics have. This is the semifinal ball game hosting Minooka. The other side of the bracket, tomorrow, Metamora, a perfect 12-0, will host the 12-0 Ironmen from Normal High School. And again, the winners of these games will meet at 7 o'clock Friday night at Hancock Stadium. Illinois State University, Providence Catholic will be looking for their 5th state championship, their 3rd in succession. Minooka forced to burn a timeout just a few seconds into this period.
They better look out for this punt rush.
Oh. Nelson gets a low one away. Takes a nice hop for Medina at the 30. Louis will get out to the 44. In Class 4A, 3 of the 4 teams we mentioned are undefeated. Now, Metamora playing at home against Normal tomorrow. Metamora last week just trounced Riverside, a good Riverside Brookfield team. Trounced them badly, but what has Matt Sempner concerned is that they rushed the ball about 49 times for about 450 yards.
Wow, that's a lot of running. Great bracketing that time by the IHSA, except for Minooka being 13. You see the 1, 2, 3s right in there. Nice stop.
Gabe Sheets pulling in on the stop for Minooka. Their fans appreciate that effort.
Whatever they'll cheer at anything they can get right now, down 7-0. They've got to pump their squad up, and we see he just runs into a brick wall this time. And they did an excellent job of standing up. And that, again, you're right in the middle of the field where the footage is terrible, and this works against the offensive linemen as the defense can just get down and bury themselves underneath you.
Early moments of the second quarter, it is a 17-0 Providence Catholic lead. Once again, a pass on second down. Cruz has room to run if he wants it. Reardon cannot hang on.
That doesn't happen very often. That time they brought him underneath, and as you said, if Cruz chose to run, he had Reardon come over the block for him, and he might have made 10, 15 yards on that play. Nice play action this time by Robert Cruz. And he's kind of a magician at that. He gets out there, well, that ball's right there, but those slippery fingers tonight. But Pat Reardon doesn't do that very often. That means drop the ball.
Well, it is cold out there as well. We're talking probably around the 30-degree range right now. That field slippery from the moisture, and also slippery because now you're getting to those freezing temperature zones. It's a third down and long now for the Celtics.
They got a backside blitz, so they picked it up.
Out of bounds. Olsta was there, came away with the ball. The official said, not legally. And Minooka has held Providence. The Celtics' first punt of the night coming up.
Good action by Cruz, but great blocking in the backfield. They sent a backside blitz from the cornerback, Keith Caruso. He was picked up through a strike, but he was out of bounds when he caught that ball. Almost a college-type offense where they can see the hot receiver on a blitz.
Schuld also does the punting, and he hits
Nice
a beauty.
punt.
Schuld, the punt back to the 10-yard line.
Hang on to that ball.
That's a 45-yard punt from Billy Schuld with hang time.
Well, that was you said it right on. That was a great weapon that time.
These two teams have been known for their offenses this year. There's some pretty nice numbers both ways. You see the difference, obviously, in points scored, but the balance in the Providence offense compared to very much a dominant rushing offense for Minooka.
Exactly, and then you go back to strength of scheduling and the teams that the two have played. They both have played a comfortable schedule, but you look at the top teams that Providence have played and smoked with 40 or more points. There goes plenty of flags on that play.
Left guard Pat Hollis tried to pull a little bit too early that time. We talked a little bit about the Providence Catholic defense in the pregame, how they're underappreciated. Same could be said for Minooka. As much has been said for the offense. Defense was a concern coming in, but only allowing a couple of touchdowns a game. Minooka has done all right in that department. Those numbers very comparable among the two teams.
Well, you got two high-caliber offensive defenses in there. They'll show out. Minooka's had to come back in a couple of ball games and did real well. Halfback pass, he's wide open again. Oh!
Looking for Dan Gallegos, broke it up.
The wrong man that time.
Max Steinhauser with the breakup. And again, that ball hung up just a bit too long.
Pat Hollis was going down the middle, and he was a lone ranger down there by himself. Watch again, good play action. Just chose the wrong man. The man to the left is the one that's wide open. He threw it to the coverage where the cornerback went to and almost intercepted that.
Ryan Kerner attempting to get it to his running mate out of the backfield.
Well, they've got to come up with everything right now to counteract that 17-point score.
Straight up the middle they go. That'll be about 3 yards short of a first down. Dan Gallegos, he's had a big night. We've talked about Ryan Kerner coming into the game, but it's been Gallegos. He's been able to ramble for 60 yards tonight.
And you said this is the second time they've attacked that middle with that buck action. And you see a nice no guard pull. They just came out mano-mano and knocked down the number 60 linebacker there and had a big seam.
Actually, we will give Dan Gallegos credit for 73 yards now on 4 carries. 3 yards short of a first down on third down. Here comes the blitz. Kerner cannot get through. The Indians will be a couple of yards short of a first down.
Great stop by Mac Ryder that time. He just come blitzing in there from his linebacking position to make that play. Watch again. You'll see a number 8 in green come flying. Looked like he has some room. You use the tackles pulling. He knocks number 1 in the backside flow. And there comes number 8 coming again. When that tackle pulls, he just came right down behind him.
Papa Medina will be back deep to receive this punt from Nate Nelson.
They're going to try and block one of these. There it is. That's a fake. That was a great fake.
Now the question is, did they get the first down? They are near the 30-yard line. That's where they had to be. They've got it.
Now that's vintage Gordy Gillespie. That's one of the old plays, and Dan Sharp is part of that mystique of Gordy's. And that play, great action by the kicker that time. He just jumped up in the air, and everybody was looking. Where the heck did the ball go? It was a short snap to the back man, and he made the 2 yards that he needed.
Well, we've got about 5,000 people here. Let's see if we can... Oh, we fooled our bucket man, Tony Michelotto, the first time this year. The Mustang from St. Rita was tricked. That's so was 5,000 people here. Celtic defense wasn't on that one.
Yeah, you may say, boy, number 6 got angry that time for the Celtics, Steve Marino, and he just drilled the ball carrier. Minooka has a man down.
Dan Gallegos with the carry. And a gutty move by Dan Sharp. Of course, it's a situation where he has to make something happen. Down 17-0. We have 8:13 to play in the first quarter as they are checking out John Nerzik, the right tackle, 6'4", 234-pound junior. Speaking of juniors, boy, this Minooka team is loaded with juniors. There's one right there, Dan Gallegos. He had that big run early as Minooka came up empty. But you look in this backfield, DJ Spray, Ryan Kerner, Dan Gallegos, they are all juniors. Adam Boersma is the starting fullback. He's a senior. He's backed up by Jake Baversha, a junior. Those are some skill players that are coming back next year, Mick.
Right, and that's what Danny Sharp is talking about. He's taking his guys to the semifinals this year, and with all of the things going on, you see the camaraderie with the quarterback, DJ Spray, the little guy helping the big guy off the field. He knows how important he is to him back there as protection. But getting there is the big thing, and we see the people just all over the ball carrier. Next year, I could settle for getting in the Final Four and looking at 10 or 15 starters coming back and looking for one more step. And I think this is great when you're talking about the team concept and looking down the road.
It will be 2nd down and 11. The ball pushed back to the 30 following that loss of a yard. Gallegos will try it off left tackle. It's a long time to get there. Right there in the slop, a gain of a couple.
Well, if you were an AstroTurf owner and you had something to give away, it'd be time to give away some of it right here. This is a quagmire. He can't even get his footing. You see him just sliding, and that gives that defense enough chance to get up there. And you got Rarimovich, who's trying to take his daggum head off in there. Nice tackle.
They've gotten a look at right guard Kevin Manthe, who's wearing number 73, looking for somebody to block. It was like he was on roller skates, just kind of slid through into the hole. Now 3rd and long. They need 9 yards for a first down. Spray hammered as he throws. Comes up well short. It will be 4th down.
And you can see the mud on his back, and that gives you indication just where they put him. Whoever came in on this blitz from the backside, right side, is coming in. The fullback missed him, and there's number 6 again. And then I think it might have been Urimovich or coming up the middle that knocked him flat on his back.
3rd and 9. It is a punt this time. Again, takes a good hop. This time Dave Pop will head to the near sideline. Just cannot turn the corner. Excellent coverage from Ryan Cluck. He would not give up on Pop.
Well, they're doing some little things. If they can get a score before halftime and go in down 17-7, maybe they can have make it an entertainment. Because they're slowing down. We've seen games where Providence has been up 25, 30 points at this stage once they get on the roll. Still got 6 minutes to go, though.
There were 3 plays and out the last time they touched the ball to open up this second quarter. Medina, a little bit of a dance to get there. He's stopped by number 38. It's Kyle Davis. We've called his number a couple of times.
Right, he's done a good job. The guy you don't hear about, and this is how Providence attacks you. Scott Nelson's a big linebacker. They're just coming right at him and knocking him off the ball and kind of defeating the key player on the defense as they go down the field.
And Sempner, we saw him wear that stocking cap in the final regular season game against Bishop McNamara. And of course, that is his playoff hat. Medina has a hole, and it's stopped very quickly. The flag is down as well. Once again, the bottom of that pile pulling himself off defensively is Kyle Davis.
And did a great job that time. That's going to be holding, I believe. It just runs into a stone wall. The reason he's holding, he ran a stone wall because he's being ripped down by the offensive tackle in that play. Now the decision, do you want to take him back? And I think that's a clear decision that Danny Sharp is saying, take him back. They can make 8 yards, not even breathing hard.
It's the second holding penalty against the Celtics here tonight. Back to about the 34-yard line. Midway through the second quarter, Providence has gotten a pair of touchdown runs, short runs from Louis Medina, sandwiched around a Billy Schull 32-yard field goal. All that scoring in the first quarter.
I'm very surprised that ball hasn't been on the ground more in this first half with the bad footing and all the mud out there.
On the run, the completion short of the first down. Once again, Eddie Olsta, a favorite target of Robert Cruz this season. Olsta came into this game with 51 catches for 743 yards. He's been a busy man here tonight already with 5 catches for 66 yards.
Well, Watchu brings him down. Then the 60, the outside linebacker, Sam Smith. That's the second time he's been on the tackle that nature. One time he almost picked that ball up on the slant. So he's doing a great job on the outside linebacking job.
Minooka band found a home down in the west end zone. They were looking for seats here right before we started tonight. I guess they said, we'll just sit back here and let her rip.
He's got plenty of time back there again.
Time and room. Here he goes. Cruz, if he can make the corner, he does. First down. Well, wait a minute now. There it is. The official moves up a little bit.
Boy, the way they were hitting hunting for that sideline, he did a good job of dancing out.
You know, it has to feel great for Cruz. Once you leave the hash mark areas and get near the sideline, you can get some decent footing.
I think that one of the Minooka players are down over there in the crowd. And they're singling to the other side to get people in there.
Robert Cruz, the field general of this Providence Catholic offense. He was quite frankly, he would admit it, a question mark last year. Came on strong during the playoffs, and wow, what a storybook season he has had. He is listed at 5'10". Go ahead and stand next to Robert sometime and you make that call whether he really is 5'10".
I'm as tall as he is.
121 completions, 203 attempts for 2,031 yards. And get these numbers, 35 touchdown passes and only 4 interceptions on the season. 3 away from the state record of touchdown passes.
Well, at this pace, he'll have at least one more ball game to get it and still got 2 more quarters of this game.
Injured man helped off the field is inside linebacker Joe Fisher. Providence offense to the line before Fisher even makes his way off the field. .505 to play here in the first half. This is just game 1 of a great weekend that we have here on Channel 3. And again, after this play, we'll take a break and come back and update you on our coverage. We're not done with football here this weekend. First down from Minooka territory at the 48. Cruz looking over the middle. Fifth interception of the year of a Cruz pass. And he threw it right into the hands. The interception was the free safety, Red Stencil, his 7th of the year. Looking for Reardon, Stencil the pick. Minooka football. We'll be back here on Channel 3, 17-0 Minooka lead. Sorry, Minooka fans, didn't mean to get your hopes up. It is a 17-0 Providence Catholic lead. But they have the ball, the Indians do, and lose a couple of... Check that! This is DJ Spray. Well, not only did the entire Celtic defense fooled, their fans were fooled, yours truly was fooled. Quarterback DJ Spray around end, first down, Providence territory.
The only person that wasn't fooled on that play was Lee Turnbull. He is right on it. I see him marching down there. Great offensive play by DJ Spray that time. Just to recollect, he just took the ball in the boot, had great blocking out there to knock the defensive end down, and turned up and made great yardage to inspire that Minooka offense.
First time Spray has really carried the ball, actually twice. He tried to score from inside the 10-yard line, could not do it. Adam Boersma hit at the line, keeps those feet moving. He'll chug forward. They give him forward progress of about a yard to the 24.
And the angry man got in that time, number 52. Uremovich just came up and said, hey, enough is enough. He looks like a warrior.
Well, this Celtic defense was insulted. Insulted when Fenwick scored 35 points against them, and Uremovich will tell you that was the thing that turned them around. They said, hey, wait a minute, this is not right. And since then, all has been right with a Celtic defense. They've only allowed 14 points on 2 separate occasions as Spray fumbles the snap from center.
Well, it seems like every time the Minooka Indians get something going, they get broke down by either missed plays or just great defensive plays. They've got to come up, and those big plays have got to score. I mean, when they make long runs, they can't make 20-yard runs. They have to make touchdown runs. See, the ball just slips out of his hands, and he just falls down. And all that mud around his jersey. You see him trying to wipe his hands on his jersey underneath. They need to put a towel somewhere near him, even though it'll get covered. At least he can, every series, give him a new towel to wipe his hands off.
Now a 3rd and long. They need 9 yards. To the air they go. All right, which way will this flag go? Eric Lackney was there.
It's definitely got to go against the green on that one. And I don't think he realized where that ball was heading. That ball could not have been caught by the Minooka receiver. But again, sliding in that mud, he just put his hands forward and got him in the back. And there was the back judge, just threw the flag right away. That was an excellent call.
This will be a first down for Minooka. The Indians have it at about the 12-yard line.
And they've got to make this break cash in, not a field goal. They need 6 points.
Motion from Gallegos. Spray will keep it. He's inside the 10.
Well, if there's one play that we'll look for on the drawing board at halftime, that'll be the quarterback keep on the rollouts. And that's the best play they've had besides that pass interference. And they're doing a good job of penetrating inside the ends when they roll that. The end is coming straight across, boxing, and the quarterback is just turning it up and finding a free lane for 8-9 yards.
Indians in a must-score situation. 2nd and 6. Play action.
He's wide open if he get him. He intercepted.
Intercepted at the goal line. Scott Janik, the interception. And that will turn the ball over to Providence Catholic. Scott Janik's 9th interception of the season.
The reason I said because he had a man wide open, but the ball just slipped out of his hands on that play. He threw in the end zone, and watch again as he rolls to his right. It seemed like he has time, but the ball just comes out and just floats out there. He threw over his receiver, and the receiver is now in the green. He did a good job of bringing that ball out to the 42-yard line.
Scott Janik, one of those players that you did not hear much about coming into this season, but the 5'9" senior has just picked off his 9th pass of the season, and that stops Minooka once again inside the 10. Medina the call. The carry to the outside. Medina in a foot race. Angle to Ryan Cluck. Cluck will bring him down, but Louis Medina has the Celtics in gear.
And that's how they break you back. When you have a turnover against them, they just punish you on that very next series. And watch again. This is all Louis Medina as he just bounces off, comes down, finds an open lane, and there it becomes a foot race. And good tackle by the defense by number 6 Kerner to bring him down because Medina was flying down the field.
Louis Medina, 42 yards on that run. He has 142 yards rushing here in the first half. Storm back. Gabe Sheets Poling, number 68. You can barely read his number. He was there along with number 66, Pat Hollis.
Well, they're attacking. I mean, I think Minooka has done a fine job. They just can't stop the big play. You know, and watch again as we see Hollis and Big Gabe come in and just slam him down. But they need a turnover. As I said, they cannot get close. They've got to go all the way on one big play to get back in this ball game.
Cruz on the run. Again, looking for Reardon.
I think he was making up that
Steve
play.
Mondry.
Yeah, I think he was making up that play. He's rolling to his left and kind of crow hop like he's doing a shortstop throw. And watch again, watch him just skip the ball. You see, he can't get his feet set. And normally that's a great play by Cruz because he does that with his natural athleticism. But that time, again, because of the field condition, couldn't turn that shoulder and get his feet set to complete that pass.
3rd and 9. 15-yard line of Minooka. Under a minute and a half to play here in the first half. Providence a 17-0 lead. Left side for Pop. And that would have been a short hop catch anyway. 3rd down. This would be a killer for Minooka should Providence be able to capitalize on this turnover. And again, I'm wondering not only with the feet here as we see the incompletion, but I'm wondering if Cruz is just having a hard time gripping that ball as well tonight.
Well, if they score this field goal, it'll be just as good as a touchdown.
Sold again. Dead center. Second field goal of the night. And Providence will score again. With 1:21 left, it is a 20-0 Celtic lead. Billy Schultz on the season had 10 field goals coming in. 1 early and 1 with 1:21 left here in the half.
The beauty of football and TNT is that so often a man is called upon to do something beyond his capabilities. Beautiful! And he does it. The NFL on TNT. Sunday nights at 8, 7 Central. Brought to you by Continental Cablevision. Don't miss a game.
Been a bunch of twos so far here tonight. Billy Schultz, a pair of 32-yard field goals. Louis Medina, a pair of short touchdown runs. The score is 20-0. And this is a live ball inside the 10. It will be inside the 15. That's where Minooka will start this drive as Justin Kay was unable to handle that kickoff. Herein lies one of the differences between these two teams. An interception by Rhett Stenzel got things going for Minooka. They were unable to capitalize, but Scott Janik's 9th interception of the year set up Schultz's field goal. As twice Minooka has been turned away inside the 10. The Indians with 1:14 to work with here in the first half.
They got to be careful not to turn that ball over again down there or go 3 and out quick on the timeouts. Or Providence to put another score up on that board. Wow.
Dan Gallegos trying for a little bit of a hole there, but you saw Matt Uremovich just call a timeout, but unable to really get any passing game going, and hence the running game has not been there as well. But you know where we will be tomorrow night? We'll be in New Lenox. They're not playing a doubleheader here. We will be at the #1 game in Class 6A. That will be Providence, or check that, Lincoln Way High School meeting up with Palatine, a pair of 12-0 teams in 6A. That ball game will be coming to you live right here on Channel 3 starting at 5:30 tomorrow evening. You know who else is going to be there? Our guy in the sidelines, Lee Turnbow. Let's go to him now.
Hey, thanks, Dave. You know, I always wondered why, and looking at this field out, the question is obvious, why somebody hasn't built an AstroTurf field here around the Joliet area. I'm serious. I know it's the same for both sides, but you figure, you know, you got Joliet Catholic, you got Providence, Lincoln, Bolingbrook, Romeoville, to have some kind of facility like a Gately Stadium or something like that where the field conditions could be level for both teams, and you wouldn't have to play this kind of football game in November.
Well, let me comment. Lee, you can dedicate that coat of yours and a few $1 million you played for that nice jacket you got on there for the field. But this is what football is made about. I mean, we're talking about high schools that have a tough time just running academic programs. They're not going to fork over $500,000 for a football field.
Justin Kay has had a rough go of it here in the last few minutes. He muffed the last kickoff and then a little illegal procedure call right there. So back 5 yards to the 10-yard line. Okay, back to our coverage for tomorrow night live 5:30 pregame show. Lincoln Way versus Palatine. What a game that will be. Top 2 ranked teams in the state of Illinois in Class 6A. Minooka maybe just looking to get into the locker room here with 62 seconds left here in the first half. Get it out to the 15. Every Wednesday, 6:30s. You know what? I have to say something too. We're going to talk about the Sports Zone. I would like to thank all the people, Mac, that you and Lee and I have talked to just this evening alone, that have talked to us about the Sports Zone. We are really excited to be able to bring you those type of sports shows, and we certainly appreciate your positive comments towards it. So again, Sports Zone every Wednesday at 6:30 on Channel 3.
I'll tell you how positive it is. I can't even get on the phone. I've tried to call for an hour and they got no response. Either my phone's not working or the lights are just going crazy in that studio.
I had several people here tonight tell me as well that, I wanted to call the other night, but it was busy. We like it that way.
Yeah.
Keep trying. As soon as the line opens up, we get you on in there.
I think I'm going to start calling at 6:30 because I know if Lee goes on, I'm going to get on.
Providence took another timeout with that much time remaining here in the first half. They'd like to get their hands on the ball one more time. It is 3rd down and 9, and boy, the Indians been in this situation all night long.
It didn't fool him this time. He still got out of there.
Again, the field conditions and the pursuit of the Providence defense, those plays take so long to develop and make happen, and that's the 3rd time out of the half by the Celtics, and they will force the Indians to punt with 47 seconds to play here in the 2nd quarter.
Smart action that time. No one was trying to call timeout, and Khalid Tillman ran on the field and got the judge's attention.
Let's take a look and see how those top jocks are shaping up right now. As they've completed nearly a half of play. Lee took Robert Cruz. Robert's did all right for himself. Louis Medina, big first half for Louis. He's got about 150 yards rushing and a pair of touchdowns. Mac, you can use a win. Well, you know what? And I'm looking at this and I'm saying, Providence defense hasn't been scored on.
That's all right. It's going to come down to tomorrow. It's going to be 5-4-4, you betcha. I'm right in the race for a tie.
You'll have first pick tomorrow, Palatine and Lincoln Way, and talk about stars in that contest that can be chosen. Wow.
How about Bubba?
Bubba Mariani. He and Nick Piazza. Talk about 2 of the finest in the state. And again, we'll be live coming your way with pregame show from our studios in Rolling Meadows. That will come your way at 5:30 with the kickoff at 6. Medina will just let that one hop, and Providence will have 39 seconds, no timeouts, but they are certainly within striking distance in Minooka territory.
All that time that the defense was on the field, Robert Cruz was throwing the ball just time after time, warming his arm up with a good ball. So let's see if he's going to use that. He's going to have to use that with 39 seconds to go.
Out of timeouts, they start from the 38 of Minooka.
It's right underneath. I think it's a good play. Oh, Medina.
A run to Medina.
The ball's down. That's a fumble on that play.
Medina unable to hang on. Minooka will take over.
Without a doubt, a strange call, an unpredictable call, although twice Medina's raced off for big yardage. But you would think with 39 seconds to go, they were putting that ball up. And they're giving a nice little handoff real deep to him. You see in this play, and the ball just comes flopping out. It's laying there in the mud somewhere.
Minooka needs to score. Spray throwing into about triple coverage out there.
I'll tell you what, he just can't get a grip on the football. The ball is being shot, put it out. There's no zing on that ball. Plus, he was surrounded.
Saw Dave Pop leaving the field. He was in defensively. Pop will play a little secondary situation such as this when they want to pick up a little more team speed in that defensive backfield.
And Clay Tillman is back in. No, he's not back in the ball game yet.
Gallegos chugs his way in and finally is dumped upside down.
He's had a good half for running.
He has 91 yards rushing here in this first half.
And they're going to let the clock. They didn't call a timeout. I think Minooka has one more timeout to go. There it is there.
We mentioned Dan Gallegos came into this game somewhat the unheralded running back for the Minooka Indians, though he's come on strong, been a major factor in the playoffs, averaging over 100 yards rushing in the playoffs. Tonight he's just about cracked that 100-yard mark as well.
And that's something in itself, because very few guys get 100 yards on the defense, at least more 100 yards in the first half.
Checked in with a 56.5-yard average coming into this season. Minooka on the verge of being shut out here in the first half, 13 seconds remaining. We saw earlier on they averaged nearly 30 points per game, but again, they've not played the top-ranked team in the state, Providence Catholic Celtics. Chance for a couple more plays to be run here.
Oh, he's going to get smoked.
Hit as he throws. Greg Hatzel, yes, no. Incomplete. Hatzel was open, couldn't come away with it.
Oh, they gave him the ball.
Well, the one official, one of the side judges, he was the man I was looking at, said no, no, no. I saw it hit the ground.
Yeah, they're putting it back.
Dan Sharp says, how can you make that call? You're that far away.
I like the fighting Danny Sharp. He's not going to give up no matter what. And I think in this, he's going to make some adjustments. They know they've got to do something. They got to throw the ball a heck of a lot better in the second half than this half to stay in this ball game of any kind. Keep an eye on number 80, Eric Steinbach. He almost emancipated a quarterback on that last one.
They'll stay in the ground. Gallegos will get a couple of yards. And that will do it for the first half of play. Top-ranked team in the state of Illinois, the Providence Catholic Celtics, have had their way with the Minooka Indians. Louis Medina, a pair of short touchdown runs. Billy Schull, 2 32-yard field goals. The defense has kept Minooka out of the end zone twice from inside the 10-yard line. And at the end of one half of play, the Providence Catholic Celtics are just 24 minutes away from an opportunity to play for their third state championship. Dan Sharp will take his Minooka Indians into the locker room, regroup, get them together, and be back out. First time Minooka's been here, and they'd like to turn that score around the second half.
This time, they'll settle the score. Bo versus Galata 2. This month on Continental Pay-Per-View.
This TCM Sports High School Game of the Week is brought to you by Continental Cablevision, celebrating 10 years of local sports coverage.
They have won 40 games in a row. If they can win the next 24 minutes, they get the chance to win 42 in a row, and it would take place down at Hancock Stadium 1 week from tonight on Friday evening at 7 o'clock. The Celtics would play for the state championship in Class 4A. Have a good start on it right now, leading Minooka 20-0 here at the half. And we welcome you back to Providence Catholic High School, along with Lee Turnbow and Mac McLaughlin. I'm Dave Bernhardt. Louis Medina has scored twice. Billy Scholl 2 field goals. When we take a look at those halftime stats, once again, Providence Catholic, an offensive machine that just cannot be stopped. 257 total yards here this evening in one half of play. Whether the field conditions are great or poor, they just keep doing it and doing it and doing it.
Well, they got a little bit out of their rhythm there for a while, but they put it back together. It looked like Minooka might have scored. That might have changed something in there. But they've shut down the passing attack of the Indians, and that's what they've got to turn around to get back in this ball game.
Individually, for Providence Catholic tonight, on the ground, Matt Sempner has seen Louis Medina carry 14 times for 143 yards. Robert Cruz has passed for those 100 yards. On the other side, Dan Gallegos with 91 yards rushing through the first half of play. And it's been Gallegos the extent of that Minooka offense. But the Indians will get their hands on the ball first here to start the second half. They've been inside the Providence 10 on 2 occasions. Come away empty both times, missing a field goal and then a pass intercepted at the goal line. Billy Scholl will await the official's whistle. There it is. And here we go for a semifinal from Providence Catholic. Room to the inside. And for the third time tonight, Minooka will have good field position. To start it here is Adam Zook on his third excellent kickoff return.
Adam Zook doesn't look like a big-time ball carrier, but well, once he gets moving, it's tough to bring him down.
Good field position for the Indians, starting at the Providence 42. They have to make up 20 points in 24 minutes.
Well, let's see if they come out throwing that ball.
Those white jerseys loaded with mud, and they are playing in the tough part of the field here. They'll try Ryan Kerner to the near side, and he just cannot get his footing, and the pursuit of the Celtic defense swarms him down.
And number 6, Eric Steinbach.
Well, if you look at the linebackers, number 6 and number 52, they're just all over the place. They're just coming from everywhere that you can find. Steve Marino and Urimovich, they key on him. When they see Kerner going to their left, they just sprint to a position and wait for him.
I'm wondering what sort of spikes Kerner has on. He has slipped on 3 separate occasions. Here in the first few moments here of the second half, he pretty much lost his balance on that one as well. Fullback up the middle, a yard, that's it.
Well, I'll tell you that time. Let's look at that number 53. Pasolano, Tony Pasolano came up. He was looking like he was looking to knock somebody's head off and stop him for a short gain.
Jake Baversha with the carry, so it's an all-junior backfield now for the Minooka Indians. 10-2 on the season. That dramatic overtime win over Morris in the opening round of the playoffs, their first playoff win ever. Play action. Oh, this one's picked off at midfield.
He's going all the way on this.
Matt Ryder on the far sideline. Matt Ryder, a 50-yard interception return for a score.
Well, we've talked about their defense. I think they're going to flag in the end zone for unsportsmanlike conduct, even though it's a great time to celebrate. But that ball was thrown out there, and you can see the difficulties that the quarterbacks are having And we're watching the replay of the show. Let's watch how the ball just comes out of his hand, and it just doesn't have anything on it. It's way up above his receiver. Matt Ryder has it, and he just scoops down the field.
Billy Shull, the extra point. Providence striking 1 minute and 40 seconds into this third quarter. They do it on the defensive side. Matt Ryder, his second touchdown in the last 2 weeks. Last week, he picked up a block punt, took it in 30 yards for a score against Batavia. And this one, they pick off in midfield, and nobody laid a hand on Ryder the rest of the way.
Well, if you're going to throw it to the outside, that's, again, most dangerous pass that you can throw, especially with a slippery football. I think Coach Sharp has got to readjust, and he will, and throw the ball down the middle. He's got to throw it between the hash mark and make Urimovich get him out of position, which is very hard to do. But throwing to that sideline has been dangerous all night.
Celtics have been making a habit of this, and that is scoring early in each half. They've done it the entire season. They buried Batavia last week 49-6 by jumping out quickly and putting away the Bulldogs early in the second half. Here tonight, Louis Medina scored with 43 seconds going in the first half, and Matt Ryder here being congratulated by his teammates after this pick about 1.5 minutes into this one.
And that's jubilation. That's not hot dogging. That's what you do when you're a great team and your kid scores. Well, they like to kick that ball to Zook.
He's coming from the 10. The going was a little bit tougher up the center of the field. And now Minooka between a rock and a hard place. Dan Sharp will admit we are not the type of team to be able to come back, though they have in each one of their playoff wins. They have trailed, but they have not trailed by this margin to this quality of opponent. Celtics 27-zip.
And probably because the difficulty is in the double wing offense where you're using motion and play action, and you get down 27 points. Who cares if you fake the ball to the running back? You've got to be able to drop back and throw that ball and hit some receivers.
Kerner will try to cut it back in.
Oh, Urimovich is there again.
That's a scary sight, isn't it? Turn back into what you think is a hole.
Well, you know, they talked about the scouts and who's looking at him. He'd be well additioned for the University of Illinois or Northwestern. He's academically sound, and he's got the physical attributes, and he's going to get bigger. You know, I'm good thing he's not going to make 189 pounds this year. And wrestling, he's a little too beefed up for that.
Well, the word is he has scheduled visits to Florida State, Northwestern, and Georgia Tech, and he has 2 more visits coming. We need to choose between Ohio State, Illinois, Iowa, Purdue, Colorado State.
Can't go wrong.
Spray turns it up inside the 30, or gets it past the 30 to about the 32. It'll be a little bit short of the first down. DJ Spray has been somewhat quiet here this evening. Spray came in as the third leading rusher for Minooka.
Oh, he's taking a single. He looks like he's in a lot of pain. He got sandwiched in there.
606 yards rushing and coming in on a 6.8 average for the junior quarterback. He has some quick feet. 3rd and 3. First possession of the second half for Minooka. Playing in the state semifinals. Oh. And Spray may have had a shot at it had he been able to keep his feet. But again, that really is too bad. I mean, that's nothing you can do. It's the month of November. You play with the conditions that are given to you.
Right. You see again, as you see, it looks like he's got a wide open. Oh, and there he goes right out. I don't think it matters what kind of creek you got out there today. That field is just so torn up and worn out. It doesn't make a bit of difference.
No rush at all on Nelson. Not a great kick. It will get down to the 46-yard line. The Celtics will take over for their first offensive possession here in the second half. Their defense has got them a score a couple of minutes ago. Providence Catholic on the season, joining the Chicago Metropolitan Catholic League this year. Their schedule problems were solved. So many of these games were scheduled as part of that conference schedule, and that is just about as dominating a look as any team could have.
And there's some awesome teams that they beat on that schedule also. I think no one will say anything about schedule. In fact, they might want Providence to go back and travel.
The closest game that Providence has played this year was the very first game of the season. It was our very first TCN3 game of the week. St. Rita was here. Well, that seems like a long time ago, doesn't it? 23-13 with the final score in that one. It's hard to imagine Providence only scoring 23 points.
Heck, I didn't have any gray hair when that game was on.
The offensive line, boy, have they come around.
You know, they got a lot of juniors in there also. You know, Colin Johnson, number 7, you see getting knocked back that time. And some of those other guys in there. And they got a fine sophomore team coming on. So things are going to keep going for them. Again, this year they only had Rimovich back from the starting team, last year's state champion. They put together a solid team, offense, defense, and special teams. And that guy's a leader.
203 wins, only 91 losses. He has 40 wins in a row. Only 2 teams in state history have had more consecutive wins, Pittsfield and East St. Louis. Cruz rolling away from the blitz. The catch is made by Tom Reardon. Diving attempt by Kevin Caruso. I'm not sure how that ball got through there.
Yeah, great defensive effort. It looked like he laid out. That's what you call selling out and trying to get that ball that time. Nice play action plays, and that's where he's dangerous. You see the white jersey going by, and the receiver just tucks the ball in for another first down.
39-yard line. Celtics with a fresh set of downs. Pop will split out to the left side. Eddie Olsta up to the top. Now Reardon will shift from his right side to his left. Flag down on the snap of the ball. Medina for about 3.
Medina the ball carrier, but there's a flag on the field.
Well, should Providence head downstate next week and win a state championship, they would only become the second team since playoffs started back in 1974 to go undefeated 3 straight years. East St. Louis did the trick in 1983, 84, and 85. The opponent would be either Metamora or Normal Community High School. Those 2 teams playing on Saturday, both undefeated also at 12-0, of course. And as we mentioned earlier, Metamora, probably the #1 downstate team. They have a running attack that just keeps coming at you and coming at you and coming at you. The seeds pretty much holding to form here in this 4A bracket. Minooka, with that upset win over Morris, kind of upset the cart down in the lower bracket. How about that big win last week over last year's #2 team, Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin?
Yeah, that put them on the map, and that showed they could play with the big boys.
5-yard walk-off against Providence. Medina gets 6 of it back and a late flag. That might indicate a holding call.
Well, we're getting a little sloppy now, and again, and that 2 things. Once we're in the part of the field that is the sloppiest, and we're just not focusing. You see, when you go up 27-0, you haven't been challenged yet, and it's just another offside play against Providence, and those are the plays that Matty gets upset about, because he wants the consistency to go all the time, and that's how you continue to win 40 games in a row.
I'm not sure if he's more upset at his kids or the guys wearing the striped shirts on that one, though. This holding call, the 3rd of the night going against the Celtics, will push the ball back to their own 48-yard line. That hat does not come off in the month of November. It's again Cruz to change the play at the line. Medina just looking for that open spot. It's like a little water bug, squirting here and there.
Well, it shows you the magnificence of Louis Medina. They're really going to miss Louis Medina next year in that backfield. I mean, he's had a great 3 years of running, and we saw him as a little skinny kid as a sophomore. Now he's just a big skinny kid at 5'11", about 175 pounds, and he just got great feet and great hips, and is always moving forward.
Celtics still need 15 yards on 2nd down. Medina trying to get to the outside, to the 40. Out of bounds at about the 35. Whoa, look out.
I think some of the cheerleaders went over the sideline on that one in the bench.
Well, one thing, when you hit that sideline, you're not going to be able to put on the brakes.
Well, you know, that just shows you the shortage of the sideline. You better be awake. You see Medina as he gets to the sideline here, and then everything goes blurry as he goes flying along with the Minooka tackler into the bench and turning everything topsy-turvy.
Gain of 8 for Medina. It's 3rd down and 7 with 5:22 to play here in the 3rd quarter.
It always amazes me that there are more spectators than players on Providence sideline.
Medina banged down hard inside the 30. Be close to the fact he will have the first down.
And this might be the last drive for a lot of those first-string offensive players and keep them fresh and ready to go for next week's game.
It's again a very methodical drive here for Providence. This is their 7th play. They started at their own 46.
Oh, the fullback carried the ball.
Steve Maudry will stay on his feet.
All right.
What a thrill for Maudry. He is a blocking back. It's a little carrot dangled in front of him that time.
I think they just wanted me to screw his name up again.
You know, Steve, I'm going to do this to you. I was walking through the end zone prior to the game while the Celtics were warming up. And Steve Maudry was there playing catch with Tim Lohman, and he says, hey, don't make fun of my name tonight.
I'm sorry, Steve.
No, I said, Steve, what's with your name? I said, how does it work that way? He said, I don't know. M-A-U-G-E-R-I, it's pronounced Maudry.
I'll tell you what, he came into the Celtic backfield after the Catholic High game, and I think he's the big difference. He's the blocking back they needed to put all the chips together. 6 foot, 216 pounds. And Madre, that's a great name.
They'll have to bring the chains over to measure this one, and that gives us a chance to remind you our playoff coverage is not through here on Channel 3, not by any means. Tomorrow night, actually let's say Saturday night, depending on when you're watching this game. Saturday night live starting at 5:30, the pregame show in advance of the 6 o'clock kickoff of Lincoln Way versus Palatine. A pair of 12-0 teams hooking it up just down the road at Lincoln Way High School. That projects to be an outstanding ball game. We invite you to join us live right there in the comfort of your living rooms. 5:30 Saturday evening. Lincoln Way, Palatine the winner, downstate to play for the 6A title.
All the ingredients are there, Great coach retiring, Petraka. Had cancer, great runner in Palatine.
First down for the Celtics.
Holy smokes.
Dina made about 6 yards there just by waiting and dancing.
And he's on the good part of the field. They haven't ran that way all day. So you can see maybe they'll be left-handed during this last series.
Providence using up some clock on this drive.
I'll tell you what, the Minooka people believe in the Indians because they're there again. I like to say congratulations to Minooka because everybody is here.
Send pop in motion. I think that's the first time we've seen that here tonight.
Oh, the fullback, Madre's got it again.
He's inside the 10, down to about the 6-yard line. Boy, a huge crowd here tonight. We were talking about it earlier. This may be the biggest crowd we've ever seen here in this field. They are lined up on the hill here behind us. They get a chance to see Steve Maudry. The little carry. And he's saying one more slip there, and I might have gone all the way.
These runs are for the scouting report. Just give the guys something to think about. So they got to work a little harder next week. And say, well, no, they got the fullback to take the ball also.
Next week it would either be Normal or Metamora. Tough pass. And a flag. Kevin Caruso, the coverage.
Well, I tell you what, he sold himself out again. That was another two-step drop of their favorite play, the out pass. And it's hard to defend because you've got to play him on the inside shoulder. You see the quick play on watch. Again, he comes right through the receiver. And they called interference on that. I thought it was a great defensive play. Close. And the official said, you're not out there. And he threw the flag.
Dave Pop, the receiver, 6'2", 165-pound junior. He's an excellent target for a Cruz pass. It's first down now for the Celtics inside the 5.
I wonder who's going to get this one.
Number 22. Medina not there yet. Yes, he is.
Oh,
took him a while, but Medina will get credit for his 3rd touchdown of the night.
They had to pick the mud up to see if that was on the line.
That was very interesting. I'm watching every official I could get my eyes on, and nobody's running in to get the spot of the ball. All of a sudden they walk in and say, oh, yeah, there he is.
Well, their pants are still white.
Shell coming right into your living rooms with yet another extra point. He has a couple of field goals. He's been busy tonight. That's because the Celtics have just put their 34th point on the board thanks to this guy right here, Medina's 3rd.
Well, I think probably
Set down to the field right now, our sideline reporter. We haven't heard much from this guy here tonight. It's Lee Turnbow.
You know why? Because there's a million people down here and I can't get around here. But seriously, you know, on the sidelines and in the stands, you know, it's kind of like taken for granted almost Providence, you know, not really a lot of emotion in the stands because they expect to be there. And that's what a good program does. You know, Coach Seffner right now, 3 years in a row, state championship game, trying for 3 straight championships. And I tell you what, tomorrow night, we're going to be down the road a piece, and Lincoln is going to try to get in the state finals. And I don't know if there's been 2 teams going for state championships in the same town in the same year. Mac, you're old enough to know about that, so
thanks.
Check that one out.
Well, being the historian, I'll tell you, that is quite a feat.
Take a look at that offensive line blocking here for Louis Medina. There's some big-time helmets popping. Medina not touched on that 4-yard run until he found himself across the goal line. We have 2:42 to play here in the 3rd quarter. 34-0. Zook will let this one roll into the end zone.
Going back to Lee's comment about 2 teams from the same area, same town, you're talking north and south. You're talking New Lenox, Providence, and New Lenox, Lincoln Way. It may be one community, but that's just 2 different set of people when you talk about who's who, and it would be great for the area. I don't know if they have that many hotel rooms down in Normal to fit in all the New Lenox people that'll be traveling down the road for the next week's game if both teams are in there.
This community has been hopping all season long. So is the Minooka Village. Screen pass.
Oh, man.
Matt Ryder, number 8, had an interception return 50 yards for a score earlier on. He was right there to meet Jacob Aversha head on.
He's had a great game.
Yeah.
Not only has he looked good on the interception, but boy, he's put his nose right on the ball several times and make these crunching tackles. You see DJ Spray just get that ball up, and watch this. He just finishes up and just drives him back 5 yards.
2nd and 15. No real continuity has been able to be sustained tonight by the Indian offense. Dan Gallegos says hello to about 6 green jerseys. Tonight, Mac, the way Providence has played defensively tonight, they look like they're playing with about 15 men on that side of the field.
You're right. They have all that energy. They take these games. Sometimes they're like the Bulls. They become complacent, and you get kind of used to things happening. A Medina run, a Cruz pass, an Ulster catch, and then you remember he's knocking somebody down. And that's the way they played, like a machine. But it takes a lot of work to get to that point. And they're on the line for next week's game, either Metamora or Normal, whichever one there. These guys will be ready for number 41. Or 42.
It would be 42 because 41 was pretty well in hand here with 1:07 to play in the 3rd quarter on top 34-0.
And this is a great training field for the Minooka Indians. Danny Sharp will take this back and play it over and over again and see all the mistakes and look for what he's got to do to get here again and take that one step further. I'm amazed, and I like his program.
Dave Pop will look to get to the sideline and get a block. Top of the 45-40.
He's going all the way.
Dave Pop will take it the distance. 60-yard punt return for a touchdown for Dave Pop.
And you know what? He looked faster than Medina on that run. Maybe it's the good side of the field, but boy, when Pop caught that ball, he just put the afterburners in and went right by him. Again, might be laziness on the Minooka part. Watch, he catches the ball. There's some excellent blocks set up for this wall, and he stops in jitterbugs a little bit there, makes one man miss, and watch him. We'll see after the kick. Oh, block kick. And a flag on the play.
Pop acts like he's never run that far before as he's sucking some air there.
Boy, he was really moving.
Word is Dave Pop may be your tailback next year.
Wow.
Stepping in for Medina.
Now, he'll be a big one.
We'll see if we can get a gauge. You're going to stopwatch here on Dave Pop. See if he is a little quicker than Medina.
I think that we'll probably set up a race after this game, and when Medina finds out that we said he's a little slower than Pop. But watch him turn it on. He's got a nice stride. He just outdistanced this man on the corner. Makes a nice little cut back here, and there he goes in.
Give Pop credit for a 59-yard punt return for a score. And take a look at this third quarter. It has just 34 seconds left. The Providence offense touched the ball one time, had one possession. They marched 54 yards in 12 plays. Yet the Celtics have scored 3 touchdowns here in the third quarter. All 3 aspects of their game. Offensively, Medina a 4-yard run. Matt Ryder had a 50-yard interception return for a score. And now Dave Pop for the special teams busted for 59 yards. This third quarter right here tells you an awful lot about the Providence Catholic team this season. 40-0 is our score. Indians have had success on the returns tonight, and they'll be out at midfield. Safety man is Billy Shull, and he said, hey, nobody's taking a kickoff back on me.
I think Manny Setner said, hey, Shull, hit him a little lower, would you? Wow, he did a good job of knocking, but watch the run. He just turns it on. He's just going south. He says, here I am. You do your best. Watch this coming out of your right hand. Ooh, bang.
Ryan Kerner, the return, about 40 yards. Billy Shull, the soccer player at Providence Catholic.
Don't hurt that foot.
Yeah.
It's the boot again.
Spray, not much there.
You know, this Urimovich young man, he's like you don't hear anything about him, and all of a sudden you look up, there's 52. Matt Ryder again has had the big game today, but this steady you. I mean, he's right there.
He will take his team to the sidelines, and when they reach it, they will look at the scoreboard to the west end of this field, and they will see 40 points on the Providence side and a big old goose egg for Minooka. We have played through 3 in the 4A semifinals, and the Celtics all over the Indians.
This TCM Sports High School Game of the Week is brought to you by Continental Cablevision, celebrating 10 years of local sports coverage.
Now 40-0. At the end of 3 quarters, we open up the 4th quarter. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in on the stop. Jason Boersma never had a chance. Jason Boersma, let's get that right. It's Adam Boersma.
Well, I think they must do this in practice all the time. You can't run the ball unless 8 guys bring you down, because it just seems like there's green jersey after green jersey surrounding those. Well, there used to be white jerseys that Minooka wore in this game.
3rd and 9. We've said that about 20 times tonight when it comes to Minooka. Spray to keep it. Get about 3 to the 45-yard line. Defensively for Providence, you know, the thing that we probably don't think about enough, defense was going to be a question mark this season for Providence. But you know who they had to play against every single day in practice? They had to go against this offense that's averaging over 40 points. That can do nothing but make you get better.
You're absolutely right. The repetitions and trying to read the blocks of that offensive line, trying to stop Medina or Cruz, you get a lot of experience that just carries over to the ball game.
We look at the numbers defensively for Providence, averaging only allowing 11.8 points per game, and that's after playing through a rugged Catholic Metropolitan League schedule. Minooka, on the other hand, I think those numbers will be a little bit inflated. Recall Providence had 257 yards at the end of the first half. Now here in the second half, it really wasn't much at all. Providence just 54 yards in offense because they didn't have the ball that much. Their defense scored once, so did the special teams. We have 11:06 to play here in the third quarter. An injured player down in the field. We'll take a break. Channel 3's coverage of the 4A state playoffs continues.
The beauty of football on TNT is that so often a man is called upon to do something beyond his capabilities. And he does it. The NFL on TNT, Sunday nights at 8, 7 Central.
Adam Boersma was the injured Indian. He made his way off the field under his own power. It is a 4th down. Minooka needs 6. They're at the Providence 45. Flag down. Spray over the middle. That's picked up by Max Steinhauser at the 30. Steinhauser has a wall of blockers ahead of him. And DJ Spray will meet up with Max Steinhauser.
Oh, boy, that's getting a little action out in the field. Coach Sharp is running out there again to get his players out. That was a late hit, and there's another flag going up on that. And I think some ball players will be thrown out of the ball game on this one. Great run by the tip drill, and we see the interception, and he's really, Steinhauser is really running down the field, and here comes DJ Spray again. Well, he's making more tackles back there, and then there's a little extracurricular action after that play was blown dead.
That's the 3rd interception of a DJ Spray pass here tonight. The interceptions from Scott Janik. Matt Reiters was good for a score. Steinhauser took that one from his own 30 to inside the 30-yard line of Minooka. Officials will try to determine the spot of this ball. A lonely yellow flag sitting out near midfield. I always wonder about that. When the officials throw flags and then something else happens at the other end of the field, do they feel that they don't have that flag in their pocket? Robert Cruz this season looking to add to those touchdown pass totals. No touchdown passes tonight for Robert. Let's take a look here. Robert Cruz has not gone a game without a touchdown pass. He has thrown at least 1 touchdown pass in every game. In fact, he has thrown at least 2 touchdown passes in every game but 2. How about this for numbers? 4 games of 4 touchdown passes, and he has a 5 touchdown game against Fenwick. The line of scrimmage right now, after Matt Sempner gets his explanation, is back at the 42-yard line. Looks like Robert will have a chance to head down to normal one more time. Down there for that state championship season. He was actually on the 94 state championship squad. He was brought up from the sophomore team.
I think when he's talking about the side, it could affect next week's game. If a ball player is thrown out of this game, he's ineligible to play next week's game. And the umpires came on the sideline and was talking adamantly with Coach Sempner about something, and Coach Tillman went to the bench right away and tried to get his ball players to say, hey, do you realize what can happen if that unsportsmanlike conduct gets you thrown out of a game in retaliation or throwing a late hit?
Well, did anybody get tossed?
1, 2, 3, dominate! they've gone to both sides and told them, talking to the head coach again, which I think is very respectful.
Yes.
And that's the way you're supposed to do it. You get away from a lot of that stuff when the coaches know that they're ball players. And again, if Minooka's game ended today, which it will, they still have to sit out next year's first game.
So after all that is sorted out, that penalty on Providence was a dead ball foul, would set up a first down and 25. Ball now has reached the 39.
And one point, these are both classy coaches, and they're both class teams. And I think that's you won't have anything like that happen, because these guys will not stand for it, because they know this is part of being a championship is good sportsmanship, and just if you have a problem with somebody, just knock the dust out of them.
You know, and the thing that both coaches will say, and they talk about, you know, guys, we have 5,000-6,000 people here tonight, a television audience. You know, this is an opportunity for you to show your stuff in a positive way. Medina, only a yard there.
And I'm very surprised with 10 minutes to go that Medina and Cruz and Pop and Oster and those guys are still in there.
40-0 is the score. Celtics led 20-0 at the end of the first half. 3 touchdowns in the third quarter have added to it. And now we'll see Louis Medina leave the field. Louis tonight with 23 carries for 178 yards. Medina gets a pat on the hat by Matt Sefner, and Dan Sharp and his offensive coordinator Dan Goggins still working. Eddie Ulsta out of bounds. He's out about the 20-yard line. Medina on the season started tonight with 2,355 yards, threw another 178 on them. He has gone over 100 yards every single game this season. He's been over 200 yards rushing on 6 occasions. He now has 28 touchdowns, and he'll just rest it up for a week and head down and play in a state championship game. Steve Mondre will get the carry. Mondre will be about to the 17. I think one by one we'll see some new clean jerseys coming into this game. In fact, leaving Rob Stazak. Rob was a little questionable, left guard, and an ankle injury suffered this week, had knee surgery earlier in the season. Came back from that a little quicker than they anticipated. He played most of the way here tonight.
Did a good job too. There were some nice holes up that middle for Louis Medina. You look at Stazak, and he's only a junior, 6'2", 200. They list him at 285 pounds. So he's going to grow next year. So he's one of the big dogs. They're coming back to try and stretch that streak even more.
Tom Lenahan, the left tackle, is a sophomore. Stazak, he said, is a junior. They'll have to replace Tim Teahan. He's a senior. His backup, Will McDermott, is a junior. Jason Kalina and Colin Johnson on the right side are both juniors as well.
Wow.
It's not fair.
They had nothing this year. Now they got, whoa, wow. This little guy's tough too.
Tim Lohman will make it on down just outside the 10.
And we know Pop can run, so if they're going to put Pop in that backfield, he's huge. I mean, at 6'2", 170 pounds, he's 4 inches taller than Medina, and I think he might be a little quicker.
Watch it now, watch it. I'm not saying a word on that one. You'll have to answer to that. Of course, I'm the guy that'll get the calls on the Sports Zone.
That's right. My wife answers all my phone, Louis, so don't try and call me.
Tim Lohman will head to the corner of the end zone. Did he get there? Yes.
Wow.
Tim Lohman's third touchdown of the season.
And I'll tell you, that little guy, he can scoot too, because he turned that corner and there was nothing but dust and wide open field.
Providence has pushed the lead to 46-0.
Watch his cutback. He just spreads out and dances to the end zone. He gets his head in this seam, and he adjusts the ball in his arm, his right arm, puts it back under his left, and watch, he just finds his way to that corner.
Now take a look at that. Is that amazing? Of course, we've talked about Tim Loman the last couple of years. He has not a full left arm, but yet he shifted the ball from his full right arm, just shifted it to his left side because that's the way he was going. That's amazing.
No, you know what? That's the way he's been taught. And they probably say it doesn't matter if you have a, no matter what the arm is, the technique is put in the left, and he has done that through his practice and technique, protecting the ball. Excellent. Now those are the type of young kids that come out there and play the game, and they have a lot of heart, and you really go out and cheer for those guys.
6 plays, 42 yards on that touchdown drive. Loman's 12-yard run makes it a 47-0 lead here for the Celtics. Get a look at it one more time. This drive, Matt Sefner said, okay, let's give a few extra guys a shot. There's some clean jerseys out there. Loman does it himself from here. Let's head down to that sidelines. And if it's the near sidelines, it has to be a happy one. Lee Turnbow standing by.
Thanks, Dave. I just came back from the Minooka sideline, and they're down 47-0 here in the fourth quarter. And the thing is, they're still battling, they're still playing hard. And this is a game that Minooka coach Dan Sharp, when he takes a look at the films over the course of the winter, he's going to look at it and say, we were playing with Providence in the first quarter, and with the secondary people coming back and their backfield coming back, hey, they're going to be good next year, folks.
This is a case, Lee, where Dan said, I have all these juniors. He thought that this team would gel as they have in the playoffs, but he thought it would happen next year.
Yeah, he did, and the thing that made them believers is when they beat Morris in the first round of the playoffs, that's when they knew they had a good team, a playoff caliber type of team.
And they followed that up with that win over Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin last week, 31-17. It is no fluke that they have gotten here. The unfortunate part for them is they had to meet the top-ranked team in the state, Providence Catholic. Return out to the 42-yard line. Adam Zook again, he's been a busy man on kickoff returns.
It's great that they get all these players coming back, but again, they better get ready. They got to gear up more because this Providence Celtics is going to be sitting right there again in their path, and they better be ready.
Well, the Indians would like a score here. Their fans came out early. Providence fans were waiting for that guy to do something. All Robert Cruz did was engineer a 47-point night.
Let's fumble the ball.
Again, a lot of green jerseys. You can see the numbers on the jerseys. A lot of fresh players in there for the Celtics on the defensive side. Class 4A, the bottom half of the bracket has belonged to Providence. The only question is, who's going to come out of that top one, Normal or Metamora? That ball game being played Saturday afternoon, and that Providence coaching staff will pile into the cars and head off to Metamora to catch the Redbirds. Normal survived a scare up here a few weeks ago when they won late in a game against Oak Forest. So Metamora going into that ball game the favorite. We've got action in Class 5A locally as well. We haven't even mentioned this one tonight. Joliet Catholic Academy. They will play Rockton Hononegah. Rock Island and Mount Carmel. Mount Carmel figuring to outscore Rock Island in the bottom half, but Mac JCA and Rockton. Rockton's undefeated, but you know what? They give up some yards in the ground, and that just happens to be the Hilltoppers' strength.
Exactly. If James Randall is helped in and gets that ball about 30 times, he'll get his 200-plus yards. They're going to need it. Hononegah has a great offense, but I think the Hilltoppers' defense will be ready for him. It should be a great game tomorrow afternoon at Memorial Stadium.
And we'll remind you that our 6A playoff coverage will continue, and it will be live. This will be a game that will be carried live throughout the entire Chicagoland suburban area. For 1 million people have a chance to see this one. The Lincoln Way Knights hosting the Palatine Pirates. That will be coming to you live starting at 5:30 Saturday afternoon to kickoff at 6 o'clock. And during halftime of that game, we will have highlights of several of the other playoff games that will be played during the course of Saturday afternoon's play, including that Joliet Catholic and Rockton Hononegah game. So you are set for a late afternoon and early evening of football that could prove to be spectacular.
Lee, can you imagine 1 million people and 500,000 will be on the sideline with you?
That's about as many as down here at Providence.
That's what I say. You're used to it down there.
I tell you what, that should be a great ball game. I tell you what, folks, you should get there about 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon because there's no way in heck you're going to get a parking spot over at Linkway. The gates open at 5, so plan accordingly. And I tell you what, Linkway Palatine, you know, the IHSA probably did a good job of seeding, and you know how much I love those guys, but number 1 and 2 team in 6A playing for a right to go to state finals tomorrow night should be a great one.
Adam O'Reilly, the quarterback.
Had a number of people here tonight. Well, I'd probably talk to more of our TCN sports fans tonight than in any single game this year, wanting to know, that game's going to be on live tomorrow night. Yeah, oh, that's great. You know, when will this Providence game be shown? Oh, that's great. There's a lot of happy people in New Athletics. Timeout called on the field. It comes with 6 minutes and 11 seconds to play here. And we will take a break. With Providence on top, 47-0. They are just biding their time till they hop on the bus and head to normal.
lands a hard left hand inside.
Riddick Bowe. Andrew Galata. This time they'll settle the score. Bowe versus Galata 2. This month on Continental Pay-Per-View.
This TCN Sports High School Game of the Week is brought to you by Continental Cablevision, celebrating 10 years of local sports coverage.
Happy you could join us for our coverage of playoff football here on Channel 3, along with Lee Turnbow and Mac McLaughlin. I'm Dave Bernhardt. Adam O'Reilly is the quarterback. You see him, number 12 there, talking to Dave Ernst. O'Reilly, 6 foot, 175-pound junior. Second down, 11 after Tim Lohman lost a yard. And they are in the absolute worst part of this field. It hasn't really slowed down that Providence Express, has it? 47 points on the scoreboard for the Celtics. Not much running there. Running room there. Again, Tim Lohman will get the call and the carry.
While they're running the ball right up the middle and just trying to get that clock and try to get out of here. With a 47-point score, but you better look out because these Providence guys with fresh jerseys, they like to score also.
This field was resodded this past summer after it took a horrible beating last fall during the state playoffs with some crazy weather that we had at that time. I believe they'll have to get the greenskeeper out here to do a little work this coming spring and summer.
It's destroyed.
They may have gotten a break because the rain is predicted for Saturday. Of course, that will make our game tomorrow night, Saturday night at Lincoln Way, all the more interesting.
And it would be nice to have AstroTurf, but for years games were played by high school players in mud and in the sun and the heat and the rain, so that's why it's a game that's outdoors and you play it. I've never played in an Astrodome or indoor dome, so I don't know what that's like for football.
I know Lee has said many times that if he ever wins the lottery, he's going to build a dome. And build a dome, good for baseball, football, put it right here in the Will County area.
It's like they said, will they come? Will they come to his field?
O'Reilly with the handoff. Oh. The Indians will swarm down Mr. Lohman on that carry. That's the time left as we wind down here, and it's, I think, kind of an impatient crowd. And I say impatient for the Providence Catholic because, quite frankly, they have probably waited all year, have tolerated now 13 ball games just to get the chance to go back down and play at Illinois State University for a state championship.
And they truly believe that they're the best team in the state, not in 4A, but 5A and 6A. And they're just on a mission to prove that they're good as they really are. Oh, nice hit.
Cluck makes the catch and pays the price.
And again, that's what the emphasis on. Those fresh green jerseys, they were going down the field like it was the first play of the ball game. That's Celtic pride.
You know, the one thing you think about is Providence came into this season winning 2 consecutive state titles with undefeated records. They enter a new conference. The pressure that has been on these players, whether they would care to admit it or not, with the expectations of doing it again, of keeping a winning streak alive. And they have absolutely produced above and beyond, I think, expectations. That, to me, is amazing.
Yeah.
New quarterback in the game. New running back, Nick Pacelli, is the quarterback now for Minooka. He gives off to Paul Nicole.
And I like this. I like what Dan Sharp is doing. He's giving his young players something that they've earned this right to get into the final game of the season. And you say, well, what's 3 minutes? It means a lot. A lot of these kids are juniors and seniors. Some seniors haven't played a lot this year, are getting their chance to say, yes, I played in that game against Providence. Score will change. They won't tell you the score later in future years.
Nothing doing for Sean Gallick. Well, it's one of those things that it's really one of the moments that I enjoy probably about the playoffs more than anything else. Now, we've had great crowds, size of crowds, all throughout our coverage this year. To me, it's been a phenomenal year attendance-wise. But tonight, I happened to be walking on the field when Minooka made their appearance on the field. And the Minooka stands went crazy. You know, Providence came on at the same time, and it's just a feeling, whether you're a starter or a reserve, maybe you never play, but it's a feeling that if you're a high school player, you have to treasure that moment. Not many people get that opportunity.
Exactly, and again, I can say this is like coming from infancy to your adolescent stage to manhood. And well, that's...
Pacelli was down. Not too happy about the hit he took.
But it goes back. Those people in Minooka now have a opportunity. They've walked the path of the big dogs. And when you say that, it's an old cliche, is that you've got to walk that path before you can be successful. And find out the pitfalls. Well, the pitfall is that they've got to get a lot better to beat Providence Catholic. And I think that's what they're going to work on throughout their program to put those ingredients in there.
Taking it away from Scott Peters.
But if you see Danny Sharp after the game, he will still have that smile on his face
he sure
and
will.
that optimistic atmosphere and say, hey, we're going to be better next year. And that's what you got to love about that young man.
Well, as Lee said, he will look at the films and, make whatever adjustments, but it's hard to say. I mean, I don't think he can say, guys, we did not play well tonight. I think it was a case of the field, I think, hurt their offense a little bit more than it hurt Providence. And Providence is a little bit more of a straight line type offense if necessary. Of course, with the double wing, you're slanting and having to make cuts in there. They were just overwhelmed by a team that is absolutely on the top of their game.
Right.
Flag down the middle as Tim Loman will try to move a pile forward.
Well, the thing that people don't realize about the Celtics, that great speed. We talk about they got good size, they got great athleticism, but down the line, offense and defensive, they've got speed. That's the thing. They hit you and you don't realize it. They're down the field 70 yards on an interception for a touchdown. So.
Providence has scored 47 points tonight. They've gotten it from their offense, from their kickers, from their defense, and from their special teams. They have allowed 0 points. And Mac, I'm going to put you on the spot. Providence has played now 13 games. How many shutouts have the Celtics thrown this year?
None.
This will be the first if they hang on. Yeah.
I remember seeing that from the score.
I'd like to thank our executive producer, Roger Connor. Our producer director is Mike McEwen, making this possible. Bring you this playoff coverage. And again, thanks to everybody else who will be doing this game, others, and out there at Lincoln Way tomorrow night. You know what? Let me make this point too. This will be the last broadcast that we will be doing exclusively for the Will County area. Our Lincoln Way broadcast on Saturday evening will, as we said, be stretched out to the Palatine area, to the Evanston area. Everywhere that gets Continental Cablevision will get our live broadcast. Let me ask the people of Will County, all you people that have come up to Lee and Mac and me here and congratulate us and thanked us for our coverage, would you do me a favor? If you see one of our cameramen down anywhere, would you please pat them on the back? What a fabulous job they have done this season as well. Tim Loman is dragged down by Ryan Cluck with under a minute to play. But back to our camera guys. You see the breath there coming out of Robert Cruz. We've had rainy games, we have had cold games, we've had hot games, so our guys have been there for you. Let them know you appreciate it. Okay, decision time. Lee, I know you're trying to get something going down there, and we have a top jock decision to make. Robert Cruz, Louis Medina, Matt Urimovich. Medina, about 180 yards. He has 3 touchdowns. Urimovich, part of a defensive unit that's not allowed a point. Lee, you did not win tonight. I'm sorry.
I tell you what, the talk on our sidelines is they wanted the whole Providence defense to win because they kept on asking me, Lee, who'd you pick, who'd you pick, who'd you pick? And I had to tell them, and I tell you what, hey, Celtics fans, state final city, 3rd years in a row.
Well, that didn't answer my question.
Hey, who did you vote for?
Oh, you got to vote for Urimovich.
We'll let our crew in the truck decide, and we want you to join us tomorrow night in Lincoln Way. The Providence Catholic, the winners here tonight, 47-0. They are going down to the state finals in Normal. And let's head quickly back down to Lee Turnbow. Lee.
I tell you what, Bobby, 3rd year in a row, state finals. I tell you, the winning streak, this has got to be sweet, especially on your home field.
I really wanted to go out on my last game as a Providence Celtic on this field, a winner, and I'm so proud of these guys. I personally was a little disappointed in my play, but that's why the guy next to me he's so good. You can rely on him, and next week, if they do something to shut him down, then I'm just going to step up and play again.
Great job tonight. Louis, I tell you what, field conditions, kind of took away your long runs, but you kept on pounding, and the offensive line did a great job opening holes for you tonight.
You can't say enough about the offensive line. I mean, those guys are juniors and a sophomore and 1 senior, and they're just blowing people off the line, and they have so much heart, it's pitiful, and that's what really, signifies our team, is how much heart we got.
And you got to give Minooka credit tonight because they played you tough, especially first half. This ball game could have been 2017 very easily in the first half.
Minooka's, they were good. They were a very good team. They came out with a good defensive plan, but me and Robert, it's gonna be hard to defend us. So.
Hey, I tell you what, congratulations, you 2 guys. Good luck next week. Hey, go get a shower because you guys smell bad.
Defense.
So see, I tell you, hey, what did I tell you guys? The thing is that the defense, Urimovich, got to be the jock of the week. Hey, I'm gonna try to grab some more guys. Congratulations, Celtics.
Later, Lee.
Well, let's give you some numbers on Robert Cruz. 10 of 20 for 127 yards for the first time this season. Robert goes without throwing a touchdown pass. On the other side, Louis Medina, 23 rushes, 178 yards. Louis scores 3 times. Providence Catholic throws that shutout, 47-0. Dave Pop, a 59-yard punt return. Matt Ryder, a 50-yard interception return. Billy Schuld with a pair of field goals and several extra points, and it all adds up to a convincing victory, a victory, Mac, that, I don't know, maybe the final score will surprise some people, but I think a lot of people will pick up the paper tomorrow morning, tune into our broadcast and say, you know what, this team is that good.
They are. They're genuine. They've done a good job, and whoever they face, Metamora or Normal, better be ready because these Celtics are coming down to take that state championship.
It would be their 3rd consecutive, their 5th overall.
One more week, baby.
Recapping the scoring, Louis Medina, 23 seconds into this game, actually 43 seconds into the game, a 2-yard run. That's after he broke the opening play for 66 yards. Schuld, a 32-yard field goal. Medina, a 1-yard run. It was 17-0 at the end of the first quarter. 20-0 at the end of the first half as Billy Schuld added a field goal. Then that 3rd quarter, 3 touchdowns, 1 defensive by Ryder. Louis Medina, the 4-yard touchdown run. The scoring was closed out by Tim Lohman's 12-yard touchdown run. And Dave Pop electrified the crowd in the 3rd quarter. 59-yard punt return coming your way right now. And Dave Pop turned this ball game into the rout at 40-0. And the single most exciting play of the night.
Great run by Pop, and again, I think he's the fastest man on that team.
It's easy for you to say. You didn't say that when he had Louis Medina. Lee had Louis Medina down there. 47-0, the final score here tonight. We're awaiting Lee Turnbow to grab a few of the coaches, players, or what have you, as Providence Catholic has finished shaking hands with Minooka. And again, we mentioned the Minooka Indians, and we would hope their fans as well would, say, hey, we can, in a way, just kind of forget about the result of this game. Let's remember the month of November that we had. Minooka had never won a playoff game in their history until they upset the Morris Redskins 29-28 in overtime, and then ended up defeating Springfield's Sacred Heart Griffin last week to get themselves into this position. It came up just a bit short tonight. Well, more than a bit short when you're playing Providence Catholic. Final score 47-0 in our TCN game of the weekend. A reminder, coming up live Saturday afternoon, actually, 5:30 pregame, 6 o'clock kickoff. We have that 6A semifinal live from Lincoln Way, the Lincoln Way Knights and the Palatine Pirates right here on Channel 3. Fort Lee Turnbow and for Mac McLaughlin, I'm Dave Bernhardt. Hope you enjoyed this one, everybody. The Celtics will be looking for state championship number 3 in a row next week. So long, everybody.